not wise to upset a Wookiee.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Contiengecy Plan Podcast. My name is Jedi Master David, and with me, as always, is Darth Austin.
Hello, everyone.
So get ready, folks. We are going to do another technical podcast. I know we've done them in the past, but today we're going to go into all about bowcasters.
So why does it need to have the bow part if it's just a rifle? Regular blaster?
Well, listen, it's much more than that. It has two polarizing.
Polaroid.
Well, it has two Polaroids. It has two polarizing orbs.
Does it take pictures?
Yes.
Okay.
By creating a magnetic field.
That sounds like bull crap.
And
I think they just wanted something that looked like a crossbow in the Star Wars universe, and they didn't want to give it
to
the Ewoks.
I was just reading the lore behind it, which is kind of funny, and it just gets even more and more ridiculous. So no, we're not going to be talking about bowcasters. I think we're done with that. We're actually going to be continuing our reread podcast through, what's our book called again? Dark Tide 1? Onslaught. Yeah, where did my book even go?
It is behind your bag. It feels like it's been a month since we've done this. It really does. It hasn't been. No.
Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks. So yeah, I mean, we're going to be releasing this one a little bit late. You weren't feeling very good this week.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to record it until, today is Monday, and
we're technically still recording and posting it the right day.
Yeah, exactly. It'll just be about a half a day late. So sorry. Sorry.
You guys should be sleeping in anyway. It's a holiday.
Yeah, that's true. The I don't know what is today.
President's Day. I had to look it up too.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of holidays.
I finally get all of them off, just like you. So I'm
that's
excited.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice to have them off. It's just a little odd, some of the bank holidays, but anyway, yeah. How's the weekend been going for you? How's the week been going for you? Not just the weekend.
I've had the stomach flu, so
so great.
Yeah, amazing.
Good.
What about you?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Just kind of been accumulating camping gear. I got a GPS watch.
Ooh, fancy.
Well, it was a used, but it's a Garmin Fenix 5. I got a reasonably good deal, and it's got a little bit of a tiny scratch on the front screen, but it's in good condition otherwise.
Can we find you if you get lost?
No, but I can find my way out if I get lost, if I engage the GPS.
If you can read it. How small of it? I'm sure that's got to be ridiculously hard to read.
No, not really. I mean, this is the front face, so you have customizable front faces, so I just like to see all my statistics and stuff. But, I mean, it's a reasonably large front face to it. Yeah, I don't remember if I told you I got a new tent.
You were looking last time we talked about it.
Well, I got a deal on a Light Heart Gear So Long 6. And then I somewhat accidentally bought another pack.
Accidentally?
I didn't really mean to.
Really?
I wanted to get
Was it One Touch on Amazon or something?
No.
And you just couldn't be bothered to cancel the order?
It was an eBay thing, and it was super cheap, and I bid on it, and I was pretty sure that, if it was that cheap, I was going to get it. Because I could use, it was one that I wanted before I bought the pack that I have now. But I figured I could flip it, for a little bit more if I, want it low, but... So there was some annoying guy, and I was like, well, I know you're going to pay this much. Well, guess what? He didn't. So I got stuck with it. I didn't pay very much, but it just means that the old pack will be going out the window.
I would recommend you sell it, not just throw it out your window.
Well, I do like to throw things.
It's kind of cold. It's kind of cold to break your window as well, because yours don't open, do they?
Yeah.
Your front ones?
Yeah, of course they do. They open. Oh man, but yeah, that's I don't know. I did a painting.
You paint now?
Why not?
What'd you paint? Was it Luke?
Nice little mountain,
Made a mountain.
quiet stream.
Did you put on an afro wig while you did it?
Well, no, I've always wanted to like try to paint, and I mean I grew up watching Bob Ross and all that sort of junk, and I just figured, you know what, I'm just gonna try that one day. So the company still sells the kits. Mm-hmm. So I got like the whatever master kit or whatever. So it has all the brushes and the palette knife and a reasonable array of colors. And there's a crafty store still in town, in my town. And I bought some others. They had like canvases like super cheap. So it's oil painting, but it's that wet on wet stuff that Bob did. I learned a lot. From doing that.
Like how difficult it really is.
Well, it is a lot more difficult. I don't know. I think the mountain came out okay for like the first time, but like having the paint break is hard, and I learned just how little paint he actually uses.
What do you mean by paint break?
Well, on the mountains, how like the snow sort of like broke their little holes in it and everything. That's just hard. It's a really light touch, and like learning to use the palette knife on that. It's very strange.
Did you go based off of a picture, or were you
no?
to do it?
I just kind of free formed.
That's what I can do. I can trace anything, but I really can't picture art.
Yeah, I was never really like a good like drawer. I like to.
You did a lot of drawing.
I like to draw, but I didn't really like. I don't think I was very great at it. But it was an interesting experience. It was fun. It was about an hour and a half.
You should post it on our.
No,
Do it.
not that one. It was the problem is that so towards the bottom of.
You're not talking about Star Wars again.
I don't really care. So they can report us. Towards the bottom of the painting, the paint started to muddle a little bit, and it was just like trying to use too much. But no, lesson learned. It was interesting. So I'll do some more eventually, and if they actually get any good.
I just imagine next time I see him, he's gonna have like an art dealer outfit on. He's gonna have the sunglasses, the little tiny mustache.
Well,
whatever that hat's called.
Yeah, the beret.
The beret, yeah.
No, I don't know about that, but yeah, no, it was fun. I would encourage people if they have any sort of interest in that to do it, because it is fun to do. Just little Saturday evening thing.
You should do a Star Wars one next.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's
maybe we can sell Star Wars art.
I don't think so. That's our merch.
You know what you could do for a patron video, whichever one you want to call it. Mm-hmm. You could do a Let's Paint with Jedi Master David.
Oh, God. Yeah, not until I do many, many more, because it was a learning experience. It definitely was a learning experience. I learned I'd need a much larger palette than the one I had.
Today we're painting Jar Jar. He was there from the beginning, folks.
He was there from the beginning.
Let me tell you a story about Jar Jar.
Goodness. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get out of council and hop into HoloNet. It's been pretty dry.
It's been very dry for about a month now.
Yeah, I think, there was a lot of speculation around the Super Bowl, which, did you watch the Super Bowl?
No. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I watched it through halftime just in case there was a trailer drop, because the last, which was Solo, they dropped it during halftime. But no, I wasn't interested in the game. I don't care about the teams that were in it, which I about forgot. I mean, I knew New England, but it's the Rams. So, my football season won't start until fall.
Yeah.
It was over before the playoffs, and then it'll pick back up next fall. But yeah, let's talk what there was out there. It was an interesting tweet from the official Star Wars UK Twitter, and it has this little split screen Anakin and Luke and Anakin on one on the top half, young Anakin.
Revenge of the Sith, I believe.
And
Beginning
then
of the movie.
Luke and Han below. And what was the quotation? It was, "This is where the fun will begin," or something like that.
This is the calm before the...
No, that was the caption, but what was actually in the little clippy thing. Anyway, whatever. We'll just read
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, we'll read the caption. So the caption was "A calm before the galactic storm." And it got people speculating if they were potentially like hinting towards a title. So the calm is what it's going to be called, right?
Yeah. The calming.
The calming. Star Wars Episode 9, Calm Down.
No, you know what I think it is? I think it's very simple. They just finished filming. This is literally the calm before the storm.
Yeah, but I mean, the other part of that
Before
is
the real announcement.
I mean, could it be called the Galactic Storm?
Why?
Well, I don't know. Speculation.
Is it going to be a force storm made by Palpatine?
No, I mean, just, everybody uniting and just, slapping the
Who's
First
everybody?
Order.
There's like 5 Resistance fighters left
Well,
alive.
you know who? All the little kid Jedi that just come out of
They all bring
nowhere.
their brooms with them.
And then all of a
ready
sudden
to
can
fight.
just use force powers to make stuff, come to them. Telekinetic kids all over the planet with their riding their galactic horses, horse dog things.
Oh, God. Are we going to have another heartwarming section of
Canto Bite
animal
Rebellion?
abuse? Yeah.
Galactic Storm. I don't know. That doesn't really sound like a horrible name. The Galactic Storm. That would be a better second movie.
Yeah.
Second movie title. But again, you can't be like the original trilogy, so you gotta do things different. It's too much like Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just been really light on Star Wars news, and there you go, Star Wars
It's
UK.
really not technically light on Star Wars news. I just refuse to do all the bull crap that we've been seeing, all the speculation.
Well, that's not news. That's speculation. People are going to speculate for a while, and hopefully there will be some things that are revealed during Celebration, which I'm going to.
Like Snoke's master. I did see that, but that was a video. I wasn't gonna watch a video.
Which I'm going to Celebration.
Shut up.
Wait, you're going to Celebration? Yeah, gonna be going. 2019.
Thanks for the invite.
You're welcome.
I've totally spent the money. Had it up to time.
There might still be tickets available.
Wouldn't have spent
honestly.
what you're going to be spending. But
Well, that was it was ridiculous. I didn't really want to pay for the VIP tickets. I don't actually know if any 5-day passes are still available because I know that they were out, and then I think they made more available. But yeah, I don't really know.
I would be highly surprised. What do we have?
I mean, they still have tickets available. You can still do some ticket. I just don't know if it's just day passes or if you can get whole week passes.
How long is it now?
What do you mean?
Till Celebration.
It's in April.
Yeah. Is it the middle of April? Around the 14th, 15th, I think I saw.
Look at the calendar. I want to say 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we're going to be heading up. I don't know. I want to say we're heading up Wednesday evening. And then, just to catch everything.
Yeah.
So, you got some time. Scour the internet for tickets, and you can...
Probably 3 times the price.
You can
I'll be
you can pay a share in our hotel room. It'll just be like a bunch, 4 dudes in one hotel room with one single bed. It'll be great.
Well, even
Bring
though
your
that
sleeping
sounds
bag.
amazing, I'll be on probation for my new job, so I'm good.
That kind of probation, gotcha.
Yes, exactly.
So anyway, I get that. Alrighty, well, you want to start rereading?
Why would we do that?
I don't know. Aren't we a reread podcast?
No, we're supposed to be talking about blaster crossbows and stuff.
No, I don't care about that. But apparently they are more accurate and more powerful than a standard blaster.
Yeah,
So
they just look like a crossbow. That's all it is.
Yep. Anyway, chapter 5, and I'm going to self-title this Jason's Identity Crisis. That sound good?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Jason. Yes. So let's see here. Opening up here, Luke looked up and smiled at Corran. Corran Horn.
Romance.
Yeah, Corran Horn, man. We learned a little bit about him. He's pretty cool. Escorted his 2 nephews into the briefing room. Did you see your sister off the shuttle? She's on her way. She wishes she had a better assignment. Shut up, Jason. So this is kind of a theme here. They're all complaining about their assignments.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, everybody except Corran, whose his task was only to rescue some diplomats or some academics or something like that.
He complains about when he finds out who he has to do it with.
Well, that's true. It's not necessarily that.
Nobody
the
likes
mission,
their assignment.
Yeah, it's just the person he's doing it with. Let's see here. I'm sure she does. Luke watched Jason for a moment, always checking the world, verifying what he could assume, not trusting until he is certain. Interesting assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I need her picking up Danny. So yeah, we're going to be picking up Danny here, and then meeting up with her mother, with Leia, a little bit later.
Should have had Jason do that. Could have had a little romance.
Well, they spent a long time in a long cylindrical tube with nothing but a
skin suit.
Well,
Did they have the skin suits on? Or?
There was little cloth things,
that's right, cloth.
Loin cloths on.
And she was a beautiful woman, very beautiful.
Well, I mean, she was a little beat up and matted hair and whatever, but he could see the beauty within
through the blood and bruises.
What a weird dude. Well, so anyway, Jason does kind of point out here, Jaina's going to help Danny work on her force skills. So, kind of back to that. And we sort of had that a little bit in the prior chapter when Jason, in the prior book, when Jason figured out that it was Danny and not Miko that was sending this force projected, help me, Leia.
You're my only hope.
Help me. Help me.
You're my only hope.
So, yeah, I mean, that's it's interesting. Well, obviously, there's more on Danny as the books transpire, but Danny was also out there letting her family know that she's okay,
I'm alive
and unharmed. Like, yeah, hey guys, I was tortured for a while on a planet by some weird tattooed guys, but
I was in a war, but for some reason I can't show you because no one took video of it. It's weird.
God.
No one believes it.
Yeah.
Happened,
Well, and then here's Anakin. So what is it you have for us to do? Pretty much everyone else has their assignments already. I bet it's something good. So we already know what Luke had planned out for Anakin, but of course this is kind of where they're finding out. I did like
Jason snorting, is that what you
well,
liked?
no, it was Corran's line here, but Jason does say he let the others go first because our assignments are going to be no better than Jaina's. It's like you just shut your mouth. I really just dislike Jason more and more, but anyway. And then here was the thing. We might this could be a T-shirt. Corran frowned. How did you get a target lock on that idea? He actually has 2 zingers like that. There's one later on, but how did you get a target lock on that idea? That's great. That's great writing. That could be a T-shirt one day. Oh, nobody would know what the hell it was.
No.
Lore? It's from the lore.
That lore's dead.
Yeah,
doesn't exist anymore.
That meme's dead, bro. Well, Jason half turned to face the Corellian Jedi. Did we mention Corran was Corellian? Oh, he's Corellian. He won't play favorites because of his relationship with us, and realistically, we are young. At least by saving us for last, he saves us some embarrassment. God, what a little emo child, man. It's like, get over yourself. Let's see here. Anakin? What? Great exchange. I'm going to have you accompany Mara to Dantooine.
Huh?
What? His brown eyes furrowed, and just for a second.
His brows furrowed.
Brows. What did I say?
Brown eyes.
Oh my god. back to
little brown-eyed Annie with his.
Yeah. Back to Jedi Master David, who can't read. I do not have dyslexia. I just tend to speed through things. The brain makes up interesting things.
You don't like it, so you make something better. I don't like brows. I like brown eyes.
Yeah, apparently. Well, Luke caught an angry expression, which coincidentally, the young boy, blue eyes bright, so he has blue eyes anyway, so I was just making up things. Oh, let's see here. Caught a little bit of anger, but I thought I'd be out doing something. I thought, I understand. Okay, Annie. What is it that you understand? You don't trust me. Again, this is getting back to it. It should have been killed in Vector Prime. But we're going back again and again and again. And we're going to rehash and rehash and rehash. But, I killed
Chewbacca.
You don't like me anymore. Dad doesn't like me anymore. Shut your mouth.
Although I do love Luke's response. It literally just kills anything going forward talking about him killing Chewie. It should bury it.
Yeah,
it probably won't, but it should.
He goes on to say, you did kill Chewbacca. You're going to have to live with that for the rest of your life.
That's right.
And
your
your
father smacks him.
Yeah. No, I mean, he does say, he's like, you got to understand something. You did not kill Chewbacca. Using Vaughn calling Serpadiddle's moon to come crashing down the planet, not you. Here was actually the good part. For you to accept blame for Chewbacca's death absolves them of his murder and the murder of all those you could not save. You can't do that, which is smart. I mean, because it does. It's basically taking blame upon yourself for somebody who actually commit, and that's a survivor's guilt, survivor's mentality. And unfortunately, that's not what he wants to have happen here. So the Jedi Master straightened up again. There's a lot of straightening up. Like how many times do you need to straighten yourself up? But anyway, regardless of misunderstanding, I don't know how you could think I don't trust you. I'm very specifically entrusting to you my wife, the person I hold most dear. And this again, I mean, it's true.
Are you sure it's not the other way around?
Well, yeah, but I mean, dead seriously though, I mean, Mara's still in bad shape. And although I think there is a little bit to this where like some of these assignments are a little bit mundane. I think Anakin proved some stuff during the battle with the Yuuzhan Vong and initiating the connection. And I think, he has a bit of a lack of confidence right now. And he even points out here and along the book as well that, Anakin likes being a hero. He dreams of being the hero. But, he's not trying to patronize the kids, but they're kids.
Yeah. And they're acting like kids.
They call themselves Jedi Knights, but they're teenage kids, and they don't.
Jaina
really
was probably just completely cool with her assignment. Like, yep,
I'm telling you, Jaina is probably, aside from Qui-Gon Jinn, one of my favorite Jedi.
Really,
out of all of them.
Interesting.
She goes through a lot of stuff, and we'll see much more as she grows in these books. But even now and. Going forward, she accepts a lot of things that, people don't normally accept. It's like sometimes you just got to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Because you have like your whiny, twin brother. You've got your sort of overconfident, but now underconfident younger brother. And it's like, man, you guys just got to chill. All right. You guys got to chill. Yeah. And that's right. Anakin does say, are you sure it's not the other way around? Oh, Annie. Do you think Mara would like an assignment babysitting an untrustworthy apprentice? Now, that's true, too. Listen, Mara Jade was the freaking hand of the Emperor, okay? She doesn't need to babysit anybody. And part of the reason why I think she's such a good match for Jaina, for being like her teacher and her master or whatever, is, they would have the dichotomy between the two is just much more solid. Now, obviously, she could do it with the boys, but like
she'd probably smack the crap out of both of them.
Yeah, but again, I think like Jaina and Mara are so much more alike, and it
for sure.
The waves, they're a little bit more in tune. Oh, let's see here, Skippy Skip. I guess she would, Uncle Luke. That may darn straight, Anakin. I may be adept in the ways of the Force, but there's no Jedi ability that'll take the sting out of the sharp side of her tongue. Tee. Mara needs some time to get her illness under control. Dantooine is a world teeming with life, so it's full of the Force. I want her there to be able to recover, and I want you with her to help her out. If you'll accept this mission, I'll be very grateful. Thanks for trusting me. Okay, thanks, Uncle Luke.
Never had any doubt about you, little Annie. Not a bit.
Yeah, and then, so this is kind of like stupid, but I like in movies, you remember Boondock Saints, when they go into that room and like they give the guy the money and the rings and the stuff they stole from the Russians, and they go in that gun
They get the
room.
rope and everything.
Well, for some reason, I always like in movies where they start to outfit themselves.
Yeah.
And like, they're grabbing all their crap. So here's Anakin. You should go get your thing. Well, Luke, you should go get your things together and then see about gathering provisions you'll need on Dantooine. And then, so here's Anakin. Blasters and lightsabers included. Lightsabers, of course. Blasters, because I think you can use the work concentrating and focus on the Force. So target praying, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I don't know why. I just always kind of like those scenes. I can't remember the movie, but there was one movie I watched where like there are 4 guys in a pawn shop and they were all like getting guns from this pawn shop. And they're like, oh, yeah, I want like a revolver. Oh, I want this bigger gun. Just progressively up.
Probably 4 brothers. Because that sounds familiar.
I don't know. It was an older movie. It wasn't 4 brothers. I'll never remember what the hell that movie is until I run across it. But anyway.
And also,
back to Star Wars.
At what situation is Luke going to send a Jedi on a mission and be like, you can't take your lightsaber, though?
Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah.
But Anakin smiles. He says, besides, Aunt Mara wouldn't be caught dead without a blaster. And then Corrin laughs.
Only one?
Yeah, run heavy on power packs, kid. So he runs off here, and let's see here. And then Luke turns his attention to
Jason.
I don't even want to say his name anymore.
Do you really think I've got some embarrassing duty planned for you, kid?
No, Uncle Luke, I'm just afraid I might embarrass you. God, what a cuck. So, I mean, Jason legitimately has an issue here because where Anakin felt this uplifting experience by doing that whole, Vulcan mind meld with his siblings, Jason, it kind of shattered his perception of his own reality.
Yeah.
Because even in Vector Prime, we actually had 2 very confident boys battling it out between 2 different philosophies. Yeah. Now we have 2 unconfident boys due to various circumstances, but with Anakin, at least he can take solace in the fact that he did a really cool thing with this Force connection. Right. Whereas Jason would have never thought about it. He's always thought about being this lone wolf, blah, blah, blah. So he's
So what's his solution to that?
Go be a hermit.
Yeah, so lone wolf.
Yeah, and
so he didn't learn at all.
Well, let's sort of
not jump ahead.
Kind of, but let's just plow through a little bit here. I've just been thinking since he's Vong arrived and since all the Jedi were here and talking, blah, blah, blah. So Corrin, kind of like, well, this sounds like family talk. I'll just, get out of here. And then Jason was like, no, wait, it is a family matter, but one for the entire Jedi family, not just us again. So his personal struggles affect the fate of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It's this self-importance that lead to things down the road. And it's why I can't really connect with Jason so much. But he's looking here and basically he launches into, and this is an interesting topic, and this is why I wanted to read this chapter solo, although we've been combining a couple here and there. It brings into philosophy again because he starts talking about how, Luke was trained by his masters in a time of basic desperation and war. Mm-hmm. And they taught him according to what they knew. And he's teaching them, Jason and the rest of the current Jedi in accordance to what he knows. But Jason is basically like, he doesn't necessarily know if that's the way to go.
But they're in the same situation now that Luke was in when he was being trained. So right now it is the way to go. I mean,
Yeah,
They're on the cusp of a massive war.
True. So I'm going to go ahead and just read some of this here. So if this sounds harsh, I don't mean it to be, but I've come to realize something pretty fundamental about the Jedi Order. We're all trained to use the Force to allow it to do things to keep the peace and stave off disaster. We do that because we're following your teachings. You're following the teaching of your masters, Uncle Luke, but they had to instruct you in those things you needed to defeat the Empire. They did a great job forging you into a weapon, which is false. Yeah. And you even went beyond your training to do things they probably didn't think you could do, which is also wrong. But Luke, he nods and says, "I can accept that." Jason continues, "Okay, the thing of it is," and that's not me saying it, that's literally what it says. "Okay,
I hated that part so much.
The thing of it is that you were shaped as a weapon by Jedi Masters who were part of a tradition." Yeah, basically, that had developed into peacekeepers. I get the feeling, though, that's not how the Jedi began, which is marginally true. I think the Jedi philosophy started as something that strengthened people within. The powers we manifest, I think those are all outgrowths of the internal strengthening. But a lot of those teachings were lost along the way. I feel the need for something inside, the darkness inside. Sorry, I was watching some stupid Kingdom Hearts playthroughs.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. What a terrible game. So anyway, the anguish on his face. Jason looked at his uncle. "I'm not sure if being a Jedi is my calling in life. I'd really prefer it if you gave me a no assignment at all." So, first and foremost, he has a mistaken impression, but Luke is not correcting him, and that's sort of an annoyance. But he's given this impression that Luke was built as a weapon. That's not what Obi-Wan and subsequently Yoda were attempting to do. They were trying to teach him how to become a Jedi, which then could aid in the destruction of the dark side, which is essentially the struggle that Jedi have, is the struggle between the light and the dark. Yeah. And at its most fundamental, basic building blocks, that's what it is. It's a struggle between light and dark. And you can chip in here too, and this is only my interpretation, but what Jason is saying is basically, I don't want to be too grandiose about it, but we're basically here to strengthen everyone else. We're here to be the light of the world, not necessarily the peacekeepers of the world. Something grander. I think he wants it to be grander.
The way he puts it, though, he believes that, the teachings that have been lost are things that strengthen you within, which is not something that has been lost. I would argue that's the exact opposite. That's what Luke has been teaching these people.
Right.
Without his teachings, they would have never melded. That
True.
Strengthening through community made them all better except for Jason because he couldn't accept it.
Yeah, well, I think in his mind, he's not thinking about the Jedi community. I think he's thinking about the galactic community. I think he's thinking at much grander a scale, like we're here to be like a conduit to strengthen everyone. I could be wrong, but I think that's what
I see what you're saying, but that's not the
he's
point
thinking.
Of the Jedi at all.
Well, but anyway, and that's not really how it all got started. There's a lot of stories that we could go into in the lore, but I want to kind of keep it on the book now.
That's
and then
being
maybe we can expound upon
very vain and egotistical.
Well,
thinking that you're so important when the Force is the thing that's important. You're just a tool of the Force.
Yeah, and I get the introspection. Like, I'm not faulting him for that, but it's kind of like his want to disconnect everything that does come off as extremely selfish. Now, to continue with the text here, he does say, "I'm sorry I disappointed you. No, it's not. I was going to tell you that what you wanted didn't matter right now because I need you." And as I was getting ready to say that, I heard Uncle Owen telling me the same thing right before he died, which is kind of true. And then Jason says, "Then you understand. Oh, very well. Then you'll let me seek the answers I need." And here's where it gets interesting. So Luke holds up his hand. Yeah, he says, "No, I mean, yes, you'll be able to seek your answers, but not as a replacement for an assignment. You have to remember that absolutely key to the Jedi philosophy is a respect for all life. For you to go off now means you're putting your life ahead of that of others, and that is not good. But Uncle Luke, you're always putting yourself last. Now here is where the selfishness comes in, because he's basically saying, and this is true, what he's saying is true. Luke does put himself last. He was constantly, because like Cloud City, he should have never went to Cloud City. He was never ready to face Darth Vader at that time. Now, what it did was actually help him in the long run, but he wasn't ready. And Yoda knew that, and he wasn't ready, and he needed more time. But he did it because his friends were in trouble. So, yes, he is always putting himself last.
But that is something that every Jedi must do.
Yeah, it's a selflessness, but I wouldn't say it's wrong to be selfish every now and again. You can't be selfless all the time, but you have to put some greater good in the way of your own ambitions, because effectively this is the way the Force is pulling you. So he continues. You don't have the time to figure out what it is you need to do to develop yourself further in the Force. You're always distracted, which is oddly presumptuous for him.
Pissed me off, honestly, because to talk to the Grand Master in a way that you could be so much better than what you are.
Yeah.
He is the most powerful Jedi in canon. And you are going to say that.
Some people. Yeah. But well, Corrin does sort of chip in here. I guess he's feeling a part of the family. You've got a point there, Jason, but you're assuming that only by going off like a hermit to contemplate the Force and your integration with it are you going to be able to get anywhere. That's just not true. How do you know, Corrin? None of the Jedi alive today have had the chance. For all we know, Yoda spent the first 3 centuries of his life as a hermit. Maybe that's what we need to do, which is not true. Now, it was his penance for not stopping the Emperor, in which he sequestered himself. But it's a little different. Dagobah, run to Dagobah. Anyway. Or maybe, Jason, that's just one path to get where you want to go. Your uncle and I differ over paths to becoming a Jedi Knight, but we're both here. And sure, there might be distractions out there, but there are lessons learned from doing things and succeeding or failing that aren't easy to learn from tranquil consideration. You're right, having time to consider them and their consequences is useful, but I find it hard to concentrate on introspection when folks are out there in trouble. And then Luke nods in agreement because they're bros. Corrin's point is well taken, Jason. I do understand what you're saying, and I promise you that if you decide that your path is one of introspection, I won't stand in your way. And then Theo's eyes narrowed slowly with suspicion.
There's a catch, isn't there?
Well, there is. I really do need you. I've saved the most dangerous mission in all of this for myself, and I want you with me. Because you've dealt with Yuuzhan Vong before. Sort of. Yeah, so we'll see. How many of those 5 did you kill? You have experience I need. We're taking R2 and we're going back to Belkanon to see what the Yuuzhan Vong agent was trying to create there. It's a very important mission, and I really do need you with me. And then Corrin. Great, I guess it leaves the aforementioned embarrassment for me. And then Jason's like, trade you? What a dork. I'll trade you this most important mission with my Uncle Luke, and I'll just go off and just be a freaking tool. No, you won't. You won't like the assignment I'm giving you. And yeah, it's ridiculous. What a I really just don't.
Brat. He's just a little brat.
Well, Jason's face closed. This was interesting writing. So his face closed. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a face just close, but apparently he just closed everything. His eyes shut, his mouth shut, like his nose contracted, his ears went down.
His face became a mouth for a second, just closed in on itself.
I'll go along with you for now.
That's now how I imagine Jason whenever he talks.
Just one giant mouth. I'll go along with you for now, but I have such mixed feelings. I'm afraid I'll be no help to anyone.
You need slapped, boy. You need slapped real hard.
So emo.
Fair enough. I don't really need you anyway.
Well, then he's trying to bow out here. You know, it's like, I'll leave you to just discuss Korn's mission. No, wait. Listen to what you almost asked to do. And then he gives Korn's mission. So, okay. So they say okay.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. The thing of it is.
Okay, comma. So yours is the second most dangerous mission. Out on the rim, there's a system designated MXMZ. I can't even read MZX33291 by Imperial surveyors. It has a pulsar in the area that disrupts communication for the whole habitable world in the system. That doesn't sound like a setup, does it?
No, not at all.
The Empire has made the planet off limits to everyone for reasons that are unclear. There is some evidence that they had xenoarchaeological, geez, I can't read, xenoarchaeological teams out there, but no trace of what they might have discovered. I mean, I understand an archaeological team, but a xenoarchaeological?
What exactly is Xeno again? I forget.
Xenomorph. I don't know.
Xenomorph, okay.
They're aliens.
Gotcha.
They're alien archaeologists.
Gotcha.
Google it.
Aren't we all?
Google it,
Aren't
bro.
we all aliens to someone else?
Yeah. So Korn does say, okay, you think again, okay.
Sound like you said Korn
like,
for a second. I thought
Korn?
The band Korn.
Freak on a leash, huh?
No, we'll talk about Freak on a Leash in the next one.
It's true. Yeah. So it's like a Japanese like okay, and then they do a pose and like get in a pose here.
And
okay,
they straighten up again afterwards.
You think the Yuuzhan Vong are out there? I don't know.
You see, the thing of it is,
I mean, I think he is interested in that. It's like, why did the Empire mark this planet as basically off limits? Let's see here.
Because foreshadowing and plot devices.
Let's see here. The University of Agamar. Kind of sounds like a Lord of the Rings thing.
Right.
Uncover the records concerning the fifth world there, which they've named Bemiel. What do you think?
Yeah.
Bemiel.
Bemiel.
Okay, whatever. After the Imperial Survey team leader, you love us so much in our pronunciation.
That's just how you say, you idiots. Go back to school.
Yeah. Comments on YouTube, please. About 3 months ago, they sent Xenorarch survey team.
Xenorarch.
Yeah, they shortened it.
Is it like a little arc ship?
No, I think it's
want it to be a Xenorarch ship.
I think it's just a shortening of the xenoarchaeological.
Yeah. Like, we don't want to type that out again. No.
Yeah, apparently. Out as part of the 4 credit. Oh, yeah. So this was funny. So the university sends a team for a 4 credit course.
Yeah.
We're going on a school trip out on the magic school bus. We were sent word by the university administrators who thought if we had Jedi in the area, we could swing by and make sure everything was okay. They haven't heard from them, so.
Which isn't wholly unexpected.
Yep.
You just expected them to disappear. You were sending a bunch of students to their deaths.
Kind of weird. So, to a planet they weren't supposed to go to. It's great. Initial reports from the team indicated the climate had changed from that seen by the Imperial surveyors. Sounds vaguely familiar. Bad weather doesn't sound dangerous. Well, here we go. You alluded to this earlier. I want you to take Ganner.
Rhizode.
Yeah, that's good. Ganner just sounds too much like
Gandalf.
No, like Gunner or like Connor for some reason. I really just can't stand Connor. It's a horrible name. Anyway, Ganner. What was the name that I refused to say in the previous chapters? Do you remember that now?
I need to go back because I was just thinking about that. When you didn't want to say Jason, I thought back to that.
Yeah, well, I can't remember. But anyway, so he wants to go out with Ganondorf. Look, there's nothing going on out there. The mission should be simple. Ganner could do it by himself. And I think I'm going to call him Ganondorf.
I like it.
Good. He could, but if the Yuuzhan Vong are there, I think he'd be likely to launch into them. just launch into them.
Not at them, into.
Yeah, into them, just straight in. And that would be leaving the folks he came to save in a very bad position. You're in charge, and he will obey you, albeit rather reluctantly. Well, Jason finally smiles. Besides, Corrin, you have to admit that your lacking telekinetic abilities does put you at a bit of a disadvantage. This is so stupid.
Screw you, Jace.
No, it's expounded upon in another chapter.
I know, the TK thing. Like, first off, don't call it TK.
TK.
Second off,
who cares?
oh crap.
Oh my goodness. He can't move a rock.
There were many Jedi who just didn't really move stuff.
Yeah,
they all had their own powers.
We'll talk about it in the next chapter. Blah, blah, blah. See how that training did pay off. Got it. Yes, please. Okay, we're done.
Okay.
So we've got our missions. Jason's midlife crisis is happening. That, whatever he is, 16.
His face is closing.
Well, he closed his face off.
Just
we have
open your face
Ganondorf
again.
and Corrin going off on a mission together.
Think we might see some tigers on that mission.
We'll get to that
Tiger
later.
Jedi.
We'll get that later in another episode. But yeah, folks, hopefully you enjoyed our episode here. What do you think of the chapter?
What did I think of the chapter with or without Jason involved?
No, I mean it just as a chapter. I mean, because we have to have more character development as time goes on. So it was a development in the character of Jason. But I mean, just as a whole.
Luke killed it in this chapter.
Yeah. What do the kids say? He clapped back with a mic drop.
Yes, the kids when we were growing up said that.
I don't think they said that when I was growing up.
Okay, when I was growing up. I don't even want to know what they say now. I ignore them. But no, I wish the Chewbacca thing could die. Ha, see what I said there? Chewbacca and dying.
You did.
And
It's a good job.
I just want to smack Jason's closed face.
Yeah, you're going to have trouble with Jason until later.
Till stuff happens to him.
But yeah, I mean, he's a kid. He's trying to figure things out. He's going through his emotional, emo, introspective phase. Which, I mean, it happens. I guess. But yeah, it is kind of annoying. I do like Corrin. I want to dive more into him.
Yeah.
I think
next chapter with him is going to be an interesting one. I've already read it.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty cognizant of all that's going on, and he understands that. Yeah, he might not agree with everything Luke says or does, but
they're bros, so it doesn't matter in the end.
Yeah, but I mean, he's willing to go along. He's willing to see what works.
Yeah,
and that unfortunately is not what Jason can do. But yeah, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the chapter. Hopefully you enjoyed all of our non-Star Wars talk through the first 30 minutes of this podcast.
Oh, they love it.
Cheap plug time, which I didn't do mid. I about did it mid reread when I mentioned the
Someday
YouTube
we're
thing.
gonna do it.
Well, I think that might be start of our running joke. But anyway, we'll have two running jokes. What's the other one? Well, if you don't know by now, you'll never know. But yeah, make sure to check us out on Facebook. That's just Contiengecy Plan Podcast on Facebook. Just type it in your search bar. You can also go to the link in the show notes. We have it down there as well. Leave us any comments or send us a message or whatever. Just how'd you get started in Star Wars? What's your best Star Wars memory? How do you like the reread? Should we talk more Star Wars and less about my absolutely amazing Bob Ross style painting technique?
No, we're gonna be talking about it every single episode.
About how Darth's on probation. Work probation.
You might just be hearing Jedi Master here for a little while.
Oh,
I might be silent in probation.
Work probation. He's in work jail.
Sorry for the delay, guys. My probation officer just stopped by, and I had to take a break for a second.
I thought it was something different. But yeah, we have obviously Facebook, or you can send us a message on our email. It's clearing throat. tcplanpodcast@gmail.com. You can check out the YouTube. We're going to make more use of YouTube, but obviously the podcast goes out on YouTube as well, and all the other platforms that are out there for podcasts. Am I forgetting anything?
I think we just use YouTube to be able to check which chapter we're on.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, one last thing. If you're interested in supporting the podcast, we do have our Patreon page. The link is in the description or in the show notes. We have our Dinner with the Patron series on there, which is, just kind of fun. We usually just chow out on some food and talk random subjects.
We're
just a
due
little
for
bit of
one of those.
Yeah, we are. Although I still need to post the last one because I'm super lazy.
Well, they don't need to know about that.
They don't need to know about that. But yeah, it's just kind of fun, a little extra content. And if you want to support the podcast, there's a little extra content just to have a little fun with. It's fun. I like having
And eventually we're going to start painting on it.
I like having fun.
Yeah.
The dogs and fun.
You like fun dogs?
Anyway.
Or is that just too much?
It's just too much. So anyway, guys, hopefully you had a good time with us here. We do, as always, appreciate you stopping by.
Xenoarchaeological.
Yeah.
Xenoart.
You guys have a great rest of your day.
And as always, may the Force be with you.